Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Mic mute off. What's up, Chris?
Hey,
What's good, everybody listening? Hope everyone had a happy holiday. Sorry for those that missed us last week.
Oh, yeah. Also joining us is my producer, my little brother. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Yeah, we're back, baby. We took a little breakity break for the holidays, but we're back with a vengeance. So yeah, very excited to be back. We got some manga to talk about. I hope you had a good holidays without us, but we're back. Let's get into plugs. We got a big show. We got everyone back. You know, pretty much our whole lineup is back, save for monthlies, which we're saving for next week because there's no jump next week. So yeah, let's get into it. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram, and at New Jump City Josh on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Follow.
Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Yeah, you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. We do a really good chapter of the week poll on our YouTube page, on our community tab. So if you guys want to vote for your favorite series of the week so we can announce it on the show, let me know on there. Subscribe to us so you never miss it, and vote for your favorite series. We'll shout it out. I don't know which one it is yet. I'm looking into it right now, but yeah, every week we put it up. Probably like a couple hours after the chapters drop officially on the official Viz website. And yeah, right now it's actually tied as we speak. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. We got 2 chapters that are tied together in the poll. So hopefully by the time we reach these series, we'll be able to crown a winner. But I did put this up a little late, so that one's on me. But yeah, usually check us out on there, subscribe and stuff, so you never miss a community tab poll or an upload. Like and share the podcast if you can. The algorithm probably hates us now that we took a singular week off, because YouTube doesn't like it when humans human and enjoy their lives, not posting content. So help us get re-recognized by them, and hit that like button, comment, subscribe to the podcast if you enjoy it. And if you prefer audio podcasts, you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pandora. We're on, apparently, I think. So yeah, all that stuff. And yeah, I think that's it as far as plugs go. Spoiler alerts ahead. Let's get this motherfucking show started. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1070, The Strongest Form of Humanity. We start off with a little bit of a cover page storyline that we've been following with the Germa 66. A lot of this has to do with the past of the science organization known as MADS. And we get to see them all when they were young. We see Vegapunk here, front and center with that thing on him and a giant head.
Mm-hmm.
Caesar Clown is over here. We see Queen. I believe this is. I believe this is Vince Smoke Judge without the mask on. So that was interesting to see.
With the spiky hair.
Mm-hmm. I think that's Vince Smoke Judge, and I believe that woman in the back is Stussy. That would be my best guess, because I think she's mentioned that, you know, she's been to Egghead before. She seems to have a previous relationship with Vegapunk of some sort, so I wouldn't be surprised if Stussy was part of Mads. But yeah, we get to see them all in their youth.
Eyebrows?
What?
Why is his eyebrow so high?
Because he's got a big cranium. You don't understand how big craniums work?
I guess like, wow,
Yeah. Yeah, I wish
poor
I knew.
guy.
In any case, these are the most badass group of nerds you'll ever see. And we cut back to the action where we left off. We're 2 weeks behind on this. Sorry again, but just to catch us up, basically what happened is Luffy and damn, what's his face?
Lucci.
Oh, Lucci. No, actually, we missed a week. One Piece was off last week, so actually, we technically didn't miss a chapter of One Piece. So, basically, what had happened was Luffy and Lucci are fighting. Luffy is in his gear 5th already, fighting and all that stuff. The CP0 is trying to regain control of the Seraphims, which they can't do because Sentomaru ranks above them in the hierarchy of who can command them. So as long as Sentomaru is conscious, they won't be able to control the Seraphims. So Lucci took it upon himself to attack Sentomaru and basically impale him, seemingly taking him out of the battle, but I guess not. As we figure out in this chapter, as Luffy is racing towards Sentomaru, Sentomaru is still up and active. Turns out that he, as Luffy is apologizing for letting for like distracting him, he's like, I'm not that careless. I saw him. I just blocked it. But Lucci is also in his awakened devil fruit form, so I guess the amount of defense that Sentomaru put up was not sufficient to block the full brunt. It saved his life, to be honest, probably.
Defense.
Like,
Yeah.
what he did there, if he didn't do that, he'd probably be dead by now. So that didn't work out. Lucci is like, well, I need you to go unconscious. So given your superior position on the authority hierarchy. So he tries to come down, but Luffy just gives him a good old fucking kick to the face with his Dawn Whip, sending him flying, and Luffy is continuously spinning like Tasmanian Devil. He cannot stop this and burrows his way into the ground because he is essentially a cartoon character now. Meanwhile, the Seraphims are going crazy, attacking the rest of the CP0. And it's not looking good for the CP0 at the moment. We then cut to where Vegapunk is with the rest of the Straw Hats. Frankie notes that Jinbei's Seraphim has the swim fruit powers that I mentioned before. I noticed it.
Yeah, you did beat that.
And Frankie's like, "Whoa, how does he have that? Does that mean that Senor Pink is dead?" And
Didn't he call him his brother from another mother?
Yeah, he said his brother from another mother. I mean, they shared a deep backstory exchange. They had a real manly battle, hard boiled.
Hard boiled.
Yeah. So he asks, like, hey, if this guy has the swim fruit powers and devil fruits can't exist at the same time, does that mean Senor Pink is dead? And Vegapunk's like, no, he's currently a prisoner at Impel Down. And he's like, wait, does that mean you made the same devil fruit? And apparently, no. The answer is no. The only type of devil fruit that you can recreate is apparently the Zoan devil fruits. The way that he was able to transfer Paramethea devil fruits is by using something that we've heard before called the bloodline elements, which is a synthesized blood, I believe, assumingly used by with the DNA of whatever devil fruit user you want to copy, and you can inject them into, like, say, these Seraphims, and they'll be able to have these abilities. It's why, Jinbei's Seraphim has the swim fruit. We see that Boa Hancock has her love fruit powers, and the Kuma one, of course, has the paw fruit, seeing as how he's using the Ursa shock. So this combined with the other things that the Seraphim already are makes them the strongest form of humanity, according to Vegapunk. So that's not looking good. Lucci comes back to try to to attack Sentomaru again. I believe Sentomaru actually sent him flying. It looks like. Oh no, wait, this was from Luffy's attack. Duh, stupid me. He comes out of the wall. There you see his imprint in the wall there, and he makes his way.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, he makes his way towards Sentomaru, but then a giant Luffy comes out of the ground, a giant Luffy head, and tries to bite down on Lucci. They continue to fight some more. We see Luffy manipulate his environment. He also like manifests these goggles out of his hair, which was pretty fucking cool. He just like ding, and he launched himself like a rocket, and punched Lucci so hard that you see like the cartoon physics. You see the fist coming out like at least a foot outside of his back. It's pretty intense. Lucci is definitively like, what the fuck am I even dealing with here? He can't even comprehend how to fight this thing. At that point, we see that the Boa Hancock Seraphim points the Straw Hats to their escape route, and they gather Luffy and everybody, and they fly away towards the Labo phase, sending them upward. And at that point, it seems that Sentomaru has, I suppose, either died or went out of consciousness. Until they say that he's dead, I will assume he's lost consciousness.
I'm gonna assume that too.
Yeah, until I see a burial scene with Sentomaru, I'll assume that he is still alive and just unconscious at the moment. So that means that the Seraphims are now under the control of the CP0. The Straw Hats reconvene with Vegapunk, and the Straw Hats are like now like, oh cool, you're gonna join our ship, that's pretty cute. Luffy and the others make it to the Labo phase. The other Vegapunks gather around to heal Atlas, and Bonnie goes off to, I guess, take down Vegapunk once and for all, get revenge for Kuma and all that. And the CP0 below, they're all ready with like 4 Seraphims ready to fight the Straw Hats. And on top of that, the chapter ends with the big reveal that Kizaru is now making his way towards Egghead. We know this information, but it seems that he's like close now. And he instructs the military to send every battleship they can to Egghead so that they can capture Vegapunk or kill him or whatever they want to do. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think of One Piece chapter 1070?
Well, I think I dropped the ball by not trying to search up who Kizaru is based off of, like what Japanese actor he's based off of.
Oh.
And not printing out that image at work and bringing it for the podcast.
Damn.
I think I really missed out on an opportunity to showcase something.
Well, I can post it. I can
That
do
would
it in
be cool.
post.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I need to know how he looks like. I want to know if he looks as greasy and jive as is.
I think in one of the volumes I remember seeing that like he put pictures of them accompanying the admirals just so you could see how they look like in their drawings. And I think he got really close. I know Aokiji's guy looks like him a lot. So
Akainu's guy looks like him a lot too.
Yeah, Akainu's guy looks like him. I'm pretty
Kizaru
sure
could be Dominican.
Kizaru could be Dominican.
He does look a little Dominican, honestly.
Kizaru could be Dominican.
He looks like he's 1 second away from being like
Yeah, dude. He's got those pinstripes. That feels Dominican to me. A pinstripe suit.
Nah, it would be more Dominican if he had like a polo.
That's true. A tight polo.
Yeah, if you had
the yellow,
as tight as possible. The tightest polo possible.
He's got to be a top-heavy guy. He's just like a barrel-chested with a very tight polo on.
with a hookah on him at all times.
At all times. At all times.
That's his devil fruit power.
Yeah, the hookah fruit. But Josh, go on with your thoughts.
Oh, actual real thoughts?
No, yeah, your genuine thoughts.
I think it's a really big deal that the Straw Hats are gonna have to face off against the Seraphians. I mean, forget Kizaru in the army. And kids look like they look like they'd beat the whole Straw Hat crew. Just being honest with you, that's how I look at it. I don't know how y'all feel. But nah, they talking about a whole crew, like a whole like bring the warship. So is Luffy's fleet gonna make an appearance soon? That's what I had me thinking about.
I don't know. He'd have to call them somehow. They'd have to know he's in trouble and know where he is exactly. But they do have his Vibra card, so they could find him. I don't know. I feel like Bartolomeo is occupied, right? They're not gonna go after Bartolomeo though. Shanks is.
This would be a good time to get the fucking Giants in, because they're about to probably go to Elbaf.
Brian, have patience.
I think it's more likely that Kuma comes in and provides the save.
Oh, by himself, that would be so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Also, when Luffy was fighting against Mr. Jaguar, I kind of realized that he's not in full control, like when he fights. And I don't know if that's just gonna always be a feature of his power, or if it's gonna be a matter of time to get serious and not play around, or if just maybe he has to develop the strength. Luffy, with his cartoonish abilities.
Oh, Luffy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he that's why I was always curious about like how much awareness Luffy has over this ability and like the mechanics of it. Because he seems to be able to control it pretty well. Like he was able to manifest the goggles without thinking about it really. This whole thing is all based on like what Luffy can imagine, and that's not all too different from how Luffy already fights. It's just maximizing on that skill set. But
I feel like if he could conjure goggles, he can destroy the universe.
that is the very next step. First you conjure goggles and then you destroy the universe.
A lot of people were big fans of that panel, because that was one of the panels that Oda leaked himself for that chapter.
That's funny.
It's
a funny little it's a funny little panel.
I'm disappointed.
I do love that like Oda seems to be having fun like drawing Luffy in this form.
It does. You know what? That thought crossed my mind real quick. I was gonna say that when I was thinking about when he was fighting against Lucci the Jaguar.
Mm-hmm.
I just like saying Jaguar.
The
Jaguar. All right. So when he's fighting him, I was thinking like, wow. So this is it. This is Luffy. This is gonna be Luffy fighting. Like I feel like he realized like how much stronger can I make Luffy? Can he just hit harder, stretches in more ways? What's the next step? So this just makes a lot of sense, and I feel like he's like, I could just do whatever with this and see what else. Like it's very open ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on that clear linear path of Gear 5. I mean, you know, like how the gears were taken, which I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah.
But I could see how it could have gotten tacky if instead of this, Luffy just got up against Kaido and just I don't know, stretched his hand across the world and hit him. Actually, that would have been cool. I don't know. I guess I'm easy.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm digging this new fighting form.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you.
Were those all your thoughts?
Those are all my thoughts, Brian. I know you have a lot of things to say.
So there's quite a lot to unpack when it comes to Vegapunk's description of cloning devil fruits, and especially the paramecia part. Primarily because this gives some insight onto how Blackbeard probably takes takes devil fruits.
The bloodline. He does always have to stab someone, right?
From what we've seen,
knife.
and most of the powers that he gets are 90% paramecia. We don't know. We haven't seen a single Logia or Zoan type on his crew.
Lugia?
Well, Katarina is a Logia. Is not Logia. She's a Zoan, but she's a mythical Zoan. So I don't know if she had that power already or she stole it. I believe that she just already had that power, but she has like the nine-tailed fox power. I believe the horse. I believe
Oh, he's
Stronger.
Pegasus.
Yeah, Stronger is a Pegasus. But that's about it.
But
as
those
far as-
could possibly have been acquired. But,
yeah, I think those were acquired probably.
but I wonder when it comes to stealing devil fruits, it seems like he does typically go for paramecia. And it seems like when he seeks devil fruits, they're mostly paramecia.
Yeah, I mean, he's only gotten 2. I mean, his other crew members have more than 2.
Yeah, and he killed.
They all have paramecias. You know, Ogre has one. Jesus Burgess has a paramecia.
So he loves his paramecia. So
Yeah.
there has to be like that does explain, because it seems like that's the easiest one to take out of all the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 3, because that one just requires like, I don't know, a special technique.
Yeah.
The others have like the other one can't be done, Logia, at least for now. And Zoans have to be made in a lab. They can't just be done on the fly.
Yeah.
So him being able to, and Blackbeard and Whitebeard's devil fruit was also a paramecia, so there's that as well, which makes sense. So I'm just curious what comes from this and how exactly Blackbeard learned about this process. If this is how he does it. But aside from that, I'm really curious to see what Asshawk's devil fruit is. That's Hawkeye's Seraphim.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what his is. A lot of people are speculating that he has Daz Bones, cut fruit, the
dice fruit.
The dice fruit. A lot of people think that's what it is.
What's that?
That's
you know Mr. 2?
One.
Oh, it's Mr. 1.
Mr. One's fruit. The sword guy who fought Zoro and Alabasta.
Wow,
Black
that
guy
was
with the
such a
short
long
hair.
time ago.
He was in Impel Down.
That was still a long time ago.
That was still long. Fair.
You don't remember the black guy with the
That
short
was like
hair
10
and the
years
knives
ago.
for fingers?
15 years ago.
I think I seen it in a clip recently.
Let me pull up a picture.
All right. Were those all your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here's Daz Bones. Remember him? Shit, it's not really.
It's not really.
Hold on, let me find a better picture.
Well, damn. Anyway.
All right, remember him? Remember him? You don't remember him?
How do you not remember
Absolutely not.
Josh? he was a main antagonist. He was the second strongest guy.
I'm not denying that. I'm not like everything you're saying. I'm taking your word for it. You got to believe me.
Okay. Man, someone needs to reread One Piece. It's about that time, dude.
Daz Bones.
It'll be worth your whiles. Anyway.
Pow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this chapter. I believe this is my really good chapter of the week. I don't know if anybody agrees or not, but it's between this and another one, but I feel in my heart that this might be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Just really the learning a little bit more gradually about, you know, how the devil fruits work is always a plus for me, and I just love to see Luffy fight in this form. It's always just so fascinating.
Yeah.
I do love that even his enemies get like a piece of that like physics changing stuff applied to them whenever they get hit, like Luffy, like Lucci getting like his fucking guts pulled out to behind him and stuff, and I just keep flashing back to that point where Kaido got a hole punched through his face, but was fine. But just for like the cartoony effect, it was like his whole like Luffy's fist went through the face. I am enjoying these little things, these little creative moments. I love the goggles thing, very cool. I'm so excited to see Gear 5 animated. I just wanted to see it in motion, especially like how with the animation has just like improved in the Wano arc, and they're getting closer and closer every week. I'm very excited to see how it's interpreted in that sense, because I feel like this is probably best enjoyed, in animation. The Gear 5 design is something I was like, this is a good design as up top, but I've gotten more and more used to it, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty cool design. I'm pretty much here for it. I feel like it took me a little bit to get used to, but I am enjoying it, and I'm also excited to see how Luffy advances with it, because he seems to be doing this all on the fly, and I'm sure that there'll be somewhere down the line where he has to like really understand what he's capable of in this form. So looking forward to that, but I don't have many other thoughts. This was a great chapter. I don't know if you guys have any rebuttals or anything.
Actually, I'll give this RGC as well.
Upon
thinking about it,
RGC certified RGC.
I'm here thinking about it.
Certified RGC.
Thinking about it, this was a really, really good setup chapter. Like, this set up the arc and like the things they're gonna go against very well. They kind of showcased what the Seraphim could do. They showcased what CP0 can do, and then on top of that, they're gonna toss in Kizaru and whichever reinforcements he's gonna have as well. So this is really like, this is legitimately the Straw Hats' first test as admiral, not as admirals, as Yonko, like as a Yonko crew. This is the kind of shit that Yonko have to deal with. This is the level that they face and they have to overcome, like on a regular basis. If they don't earn respect here, then they're going to be walked over by, like, every Marine person is going to challenge them all the time if they don't come out of this on top.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this arc is setting up some pretty good shit.
Yeah.
Mind you, Zoro still isn't a factor yet. So there's that alone. Zoro is a huge like part of the Straw Hats powerhouse. So once he gets involved, I'm pretty sure this whole situation sways in the favor of the Straw Hats. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But I'm really excited to see what happens here.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I believe we're good to move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then let's go.
Let's go.
My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia chapter 376 on Knife's Edge. Last we left off, the Twice army has broken through. We also didn't get a chapter of My Hero Academia last week. But the Twice army made by Toga has broken through, and she is making a fucking tsunami of clones. And at that point, that's also when Uraraka and Tsuyu come through the portal as well, following after her. They see all the chaos that is going beneath them. At that point, that's when Earphone Jack and Tsukuyomi come through, and they fill her in on the situation basically. They let him know that Dabi is also back into the battle. He is currently floating over Endeavor, who is himself fighting a bunch of Twice clones. Endeavor notices that he has the phosphor attack happening all over him, and he's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I was hoping to bring Shoto dead, but now I know my grand dream will never come true. But at the very least, I'll take as much as I can." So I guess he's gonna do some crazy like explosion thing, take out as many people as he can with them. Meanwhile, in the background, you see All For One Eisening. Just like, it's all going according to my plan. These cascading events, these cascading chain of events, they're all working in my favor. And now all that's left, nothing matters. Now I'll have to ride this wave of chaos and get myself to Tomura. And he starts flying away. He gets intercepted by Hawks. And he's like, oh, Hawks, you should go fight with Bubai Gorara. He's like, we know that the rewind effects put you in a timer. So, why don't you have faith in Shigaraki, in that perfect body of yours? And he's like, well, in the truest sense, that body is not complete yet. There's a reason why this version of me is still essential. Hawks turns over. I almost called him Hawkeye. Hawks turns over to Endeavor and is like, Endeavor, divided conquers a bust. Our allies can't battle in this nasty heat. And if we fall here, the villains are going to converge on Deku and Tomura. Put a stop to Toya.
No.
Yeah, and All For One is like, such a cruel command for that one-armed, half-conscious fellow. So, yeah, he's like, as you so nicely put it, defeating me post haste is his mission, and yet you tell him to abandon his duty. He's like, well, that's enough bullcrap out of you. You already lost to our number one. And that's when we see that Dabi starts blasting towards Endeavor, and Endeavor says, duty, this time around, I'm really seeing you. And that's where the chapter ends. Very short chapter, only 12 pages, but a lot seems to have happened a little bit. We got a little bit of events going moving forward. Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 376?
Well, it was a very short chapter, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
I think it was cool to get the confirmation that was indeed Toya. Like, it's not like Bubakawaira. Probably said that wrong. Is back. It's
I don't
definitely
know
just
his name.
Toga.
I don't know how to pronounce his name either.
It's
Bubai Gawara.
yeah, it's just like that.
Bubai or
You got it, Josh. It's Bubai Gawara.
Bubai
Bubai
Gawara.
Gawara.
Boy.
Yeah, Bubai Gawara.
Yeah. Hey, you got it.
Bubai Gawara.
You can't say
okay,
say that 5 times
so it
real
was
fast.
cool. No, I can't. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it was a nice little confirmation. I think you know what this chapter made me think about actually? That we might actually see some of the other students get some cool fights at some point. It might happen.
It might happen.
I'm not saying I'm getting my hopes up, but maybe there's more time. Maybe there's a lot more time than I thought. Maybe this is supposed to be the longest war arc in
Shonen
like
history.
manga history. Yeah, like one of those.
Yeah.
That would have to be the.
I would say literature, but I'm sure they have like
Literature.
That would have to beat Naruto, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Naruto's Great Ninja War was like the last third.
Naruto's.
No, like the Ninja War, the Great Ninja War was like the last third of the series. So,
Jeez.
yeah, that last arc was really long.
Okay.
When did this one start? Let me see, 56. Wow, so over 20 chapters so far. There's a couple volumes. Yeah, it's been going on for quite some time.
I think Dabi looked really cool in this chapter.
Okay, so it's at least 60 chapters. Not 60. What am I thinking? It's at least like 40 chapters, this war arc so far. But anyway, what did you have any other thoughts?
Yeah. I think Hawks had one of the coolest lines I've heard in My Hero Academia in a while. Saying, you already lost once to our number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you talking all that shit, but you actually lost. And
Yeah.
this is round 2. And nigga say he's splitting hairs. He is.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like that, but he is splitting hairs. But it is true.
Yeah, there's technicality, but it's true.
Ew, nigga. Hold that. Hold that. Okay. Brian, what did you What do you think about this incredibly brief chapter of your favorite series to read?
I actually like this one a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, mainly because it brought me back to my favorite story plot, which is the Todorokis. I fucking love the Todoroki storyline so much. And this chapter actually saved a lot of face for Hawks, in my opinion, for me.
Do you wish that was your family dynamic?
Why
What?
would
No,
you wish
what?
that?
What? Why the fuck would I wish that for my family, bro?
You love it. It's so dark.
It's a fucking interesting storyline, bro. I don't want domestic abuse in my household.
You don't want to be pushed to be the very best.
That no
To
one
marginal
ever
abuse?
was.
It was never that clear.
To catch them is my. But yeah, actually, I think this chapter was fun. We did start off with the fucking stupid ass toga shit again, but you know, hopefully they're getting past that.
They won't.
Hopefully when he comes back to it, it will be not ass. And I'm just glad that we're getting back to the Toya shit. I love that storyline very much.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see. Maybe love is a strong word. Maybe like it, like it's interesting. Maybe I don't love a storyline about domestic abuse, but I think it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, Brian, B.ESP almost got banned.
Ban, cancel. Were those all your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, not much else. I'm really excited to see what Endeavor does. I fucking love the way Endeavor is drawn. I love the way his character is written. It's just everything involving Endeavor is really fucking good, and it's kind of carrying the series a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that. I feel like Endeavor is hard carrying this series for a while. I don't have much to say about this chapter because it's literally 12 pages, but
We can play a game instead.
what game?
The game of who's going to die first.
Endeavor might die first.
Yeah, maybe Endeavor.
I'm going with Hawks. It's
You think
time.
Hawk's gonna die?
It's time.
I feel like Hawks is too obvious.
Yeah.
Am I going for the low hanging fruit?
What if they
Yeah,
die
it has to be-
simultaneously?
Huh?
What if they die simultaneously?
That'd be sad.
It would
That'd be
sad.
poetic.
Yeah. Would it?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be Endeavor. I mean, he's probably gonna. Well, I don't know. I feel like Endeavor's gonna end up with this without his powers at all.
Aizo was next.
I feel like he'll survive, but he won't have his abilities anymore. Somehow.
Right. He's going to be like permanently neutered.
Yeah.
And
Like
maybe he'll lose all his limbs and just be a jelly bean with a head.
could be.
Right. And then,
Yeah.
no, I actually do think that Aizawa's going to die next.
Oh, it could be Aizawa.
Yeah, as I was taking some punishment over the course of the series.
He
Or
has,
All Might.
and
It could be All Might too.
It could be All Might.
Oh my God, where's he been?
Not
He's been
around.
in
just
his little safe house.
hiding
But he,
Chilling.
somewhere.
knowing All Might, he's not going to stay there. He's going to show up to the
Yeah.
battlefield.
I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, he has to end up at the battlefield somehow, somewhere.
I actually don't want to see him die.
I think
He
him
will.
and I think him and One for All are going to die at the same time. In
That
a
wouldn't be
terrible way.
poetic.
That would be poetic.
Nope.
It's a complete passing of the torch.
Well, good thing art is subjective.
They're both dying. They're both dying.
That's true. Art is subjective.
They are. They're both dying. Both their boys are getting to the point where they're going to pick up the baton. I think they're both gonna die in this arc at the same time.
I mean,
So,
yeah,
like,
I would be surprised.
As like maximum symbolism.
Maximum sin. I would be surprised if All Might. I would be surprised if All Might did not die by the end of the series. Unless that's the ultimate show of Midori being a hero, is that he somehow also saves All Might.
I don't think so.
But yeah,
Night Eye ain't wrong, my guy. Night
I'll
Eye
go.
is never wrong.
I'm spitballing here. I'm just throwing out possibilities.
Unless It would be funny if the one time Night Eye is wrong is because of Deku, though. That would be.
I think that's what they would build up to. I think that would make sense because the whole point of the overhaul arc is Midoriya showing him that the future is not set in stone and things can change. But yeah, it's possible. I think he dead though too. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't die. But yeah, I mean, I don't have all that much to say about it. I feel like there's a lot of build up still, and it's too short. I know that he's got a lot of stuff to draw. He's got to draw all these twices, and I bet these twices take forever to draw. But yeah, this is not. I feel like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It just felt like there wasn't a whole lot here. I'm excited to see what happens next though, because I guess we're gonna finally bookend the Endeavor stuff. He's got to stick the landing on that. But I've got nothing else. Nothing else here. You guys have any rebuttals? Anything else? Last words?
Nope.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's move on. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 208, Stars and Oil. Do you want to do this one, Josh, or should I take it?
Oh, you take it this week, please.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since I covered a Jujutsu Kaisen. This one is one of the ones we did miss because we didn't do a show last week. This is Jujutsu Kaisen 208, Stars and Oil. Last we left off, there was the battle between Choso, Tsukumo, and Kenjaku continued. And it ended up with Tsukumo ending up as a donut. She got donutted by Kenjaku. So that didn't work out. Choso's on the floor like, Tsukumo! And we get a flashback to, I guess, like at some point, Tsukumo and Choso were at a bar that was being bartended by Tengen. And I don't know why, but this is the situation they're in. And they're kind of talking about how, Tsukumo's like, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, if you die, then you're like necessary for Yuji Itadori's future, right? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're risking yourself for his future. Well, don't you want to be there for him? And he's like, and Choso answers that question with another question. He's just like, am I even human? When he says, when my younger brothers took flesh, I realized that humans cannot accept their deformed appearance. So I chose to live as a curse. That's why I killed so many in Shibuya, and not just humans. I was the one who killed Kechizu and Eso. And he's like, because if I had chosen to live as a human, it would not have come to that. So he's like, why did I choose the easy path? He starts crying. He's like, I didn't want to see the two of them suffer as human beings, but they weren't weak. And then Yuji, who was suffering as a human, showed up. And the four of us were fated to fight together. And you get a big panel page of, I guess, Choso's dream come true of all four brothers just fighting together in harmony. But he said, but I took it easy and left Yuji all alone. And he said, and Tsukumo responds is like, if you die, then he'll be all alone again. He's like, you're too kind, but it's no use. I killed humans for no reason. I can no longer live alongside him. This is the only way to use my life. And he starts to, I guess,
conjure up a Destructo disc.
Yeah, to try to take out Kenjaku. But then that's when Tsukumo looks at him and is like, Choso, this is where you died as a curse. And then the floor starts to give out beneath Choso. And she tells him that now he must live as a human. And at that very moment, that's when Kenjaku straight up splits Yuki Tsukumo in half. And Jesus Christ. It took me a minute to register what happened. I thought he just slammed her to the ground. But then I saw that he's like split her completely in two.
Yeah.
And that's not fun. So he looks over and then Geto all of a sudden sees Tengen there, and he's like, and then he starts laughing, and then Tengen's like, "What are you laughing at?" He's like, "Just look at you. Is this what you wanted? You look just like." And then we get a quick panel of Sukuna, and he's like, "You want to know what I can do?" And that's when a hand grabs Kenjaku's leg, and he's like, just needed to distract you." And that's when Yuki activates her technique again, and she says that Star Rage's alterations in mass don't affect her, but only up to a certain density. So I guess like that brokenness of her ability only lasts up to a certain amount of mass, and then it really actually starts to affect her and make her heavier. So basically she makes herself into the density of a fucking black hole, and just crushes everything around them in a big suicide attack. Unfortunately for them, Kenjaku survives it, and Tengen is just standing there like, "How did you survive?" And he says, "Curse technique reversal." He's like, "No, the gravity now was cursed. Until now was curse technique reversal. The curse technique anti-gravity system was engraved in Kaori Itadori." So I think what he's saying there is that Itadori's mom's curse technique is the one he used to get out of this fucking thing. And basically, she's like, through laps, I was able to avoid the restrictions, and it was a gamble that I used to, like, using my own body as a domain. And he's like, it could have blown up the whole world, but your barrier and her will suppressed it. So, you know, they were basically holding back. They did all this shit, but, you know, they still weren't using the full power so as not to destroy the entire world.
Of course, because a black hole would destroy our entire galaxy.
Yeah. And he's like, well, that was a fun warm-up. And then all of a sudden he starts to fade away. Tengen does. As Kenjaku says, "You have atoned for your tedious existence." And we see that Kenjaku is fetal positioned up inside of the big old tree thing. He says, "Goodbye, friend."
Of the tree. This looks very graphic.
Yeah. That's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 208?
What I thought is this was my RGC.
Ooh.
I'm such a fiend.
Certified RGC.
Certified RGC.
I'm such a fiend.
Boom.
This was my runner-up, so, you know, it was this close.
Yeah, this is my runner-up as well.
Oh, was it, guys? Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Almost doesn't count.
I know. I just thought I'd have to say.
Was it the audience RGC?
Actually, I think it tied. Yeah, it is tied with another series.
Oh, there's no movement yet?
No movement. I think there's not gonna be. But
What's it tied with?
I can't tell you yet until we get to the series.
Okay. Probably Hunter x Hunter, but whatever. So this, first of all, RIP. I think Suki's dead.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would be shocked if she wasn't.
There was a few. All right, I don't have a whole bunch of thoughts other than wow, amazing chapter. This shit was crazy and dramatic, and oh my god, Joseph's still alive. But she pulled up and died already. All right, and look, he says die already as a human.
Yeah.
Does that mean she's gonna come back as a curse?
Probably.
Maybe. There's also this line that Chozo. I have a lot of questions actually, and maybe you guys can help me out with them.
I'll try.
I didn't really understand this conversation that Chozo was having. Like he was at all points, you know, he was, even though it was my RGC, because I know there was something to be said here anyway, and I really like the outcome. But he's saying, "Am I even human?" And it's like, no, he's not. He's a cursed spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And right. So he said, "I chose to live as a curse." I guess he means like instead of just not killing people, he decided to do it even because he is a curse. Like him being an actual cursed spirit is like aside the point. He's saying that I decided to act as if I was like this monster. Therefore, he's saying that he took the easy way out doing that.
Mhm.
I think that's what he was trying to explain. And then, excuse me. He says, "I didn't want to see the two of them suffer as human beings." I guess he means like to just live out as wicked cursed spirits instead of just trying to acclimate to society because they look crazy, especially the small one.
Mhm.
Maybe he looks like a munchkin. Maybe I'm hungry. And he says Yuji showed up when we were fated to fight together, but didn't the two brothers get smoked before Choso even pulled up?
Yeah.
Do I remember? If there's something I need to reread again, it's Jujutsu Kaisen.
I'm in the
because
middle
there's
of
a lot
rereading
blurry-
Jujutsu Kaisen, so I haven't gotten to Shibuya yet. But
The anime's taking too long, man.
yeah, it'll be a while.
He says, but I took it easy and left Yuji all alone. I'm sure that's not really what happened. They decided to split up. Like it was part of whatever. I guess it seemed like I got everything right, so I'm not that confused. But still, it's just all this talk about like this is where he dies a curse, so he must. So this is all figure of speech, like to be a better person moving forward. Like you've atoned,
Yeah.
now go.
Yeah.
Man, she can create a black hole. I'm pretty sure there's no one stronger than her. Obviously, she dies in the
She's
process.
dead now.
But like, who there are some people that can deal with something like that.
Hey,
Like,
Kenjaku made it out. Technically, Itadori's mom would be able to do that.
there are implications here. Kenjaku could survive a black hole. That's a godly level durability. That's Thor durability right there. If he got
Yeah.
hit with the Mjolnir, he'd probably just be like, "Hey, that actually hurt." You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
level Kenjaku's at. So
Yeah, he mentions that he got lucky though, because he was his gravity attack was really just a curse technique reversal, but this anti-gravity system is a curse technique from his previous vessel, which was Itadori's mom. So I think he basically used Itadori's mom's technique which is anti-gravity, in order to stop this. That's what I've gathered from this. I'd like to think that that's where I got from it, but I could be wrong on that.
I can't believe Kenjaku was Yuji's mom.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Very weird.
Did he ever love Yuji? Did she ever love? What is yeah? All right. I don't want to think about this anymore. Brian, what do you think about this chapter?
I wonder if Yuki is actually dead. And I wonder what the fuck happened with Tengen at the end there. Is he dead?
No.
No, he's not.
Not yet.
He's just sleeping.
So Yuki she's in, if she's not dead, she's in the center of a black hole.
Uh-huh.
So it's another Gojo situation.
No.
I think it's a dead situation.
I think she's dead.
She's been compressed to the point of I can't even explain it.
This was a sacrifice
dead.
play for sure.
You didn't play the do.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure.
Because he has too much respect for her.
I was waiting to get to my thoughts so I don't interrupt your thoughts, but I'll do it. I love that sound. But yeah, what else? What were your thoughts, Brian?
This was a really good chapter because there were so many things to kind of talk about in reference to it. Mainly I really liked the the whole thing about Choso. I think it was pretty cool to have Choso have that little bit of character development, kind of have like a second chance at life, kind of moment. And the whole thing, the weird connection between Tengen and Sukuna was really interesting because I wonder what it was about those two that were similar to him. Because I don't think Sukuna has the immortality thing that that Tengen has, right?
I think he was referring to maybe they look similar because Sukuna had multiple eyes and he had kind of like a non-human look to him.
Yeah.
Is that really the only thing?
That's my
Yes, the
guess
eyes.
because that's the only guess because he said that he looks like him, which I don't know about that, but I guess like he means like you don't look like a human being anymore. You know, just like Sukuna did.
Damn,
But yeah,
Tengen was holding it down.
So Tengen is dead, right? Is that what's happening at the end
think
there?
So
He's
So
not
what
dead.
was-
This is him resting. The before was his holographic projection.
Mm.
Can I get a reminder on what exactly like Geto came here to do?
I guess
Kill
to get rid of Tengen.
Destroy the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does destroying the barrier do?
Allows cursed spirits to go all around the world.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he
shit.
can make a big
So-
old, and so he can merge them with people to see what happens.
Just like
Just to see.
we can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Man.
He
That's-
survived the black
so-
hole for his dreams. What are you doing?
So he so he accomplished his dreams. He got the barrier down. What does this imply for the rest of the series? Does this mean our people are gonna leave Japan at some point?
No, I guess then.
You want that to happen, Brian, because it didn't happen in another series. It's okay.
No, I think
It's okay.
what's bound to happen is we're gonna go back to the culling game, and Kenjaku's gonna also enter the culling game.
Oh, I just thought of what this could imply.
Could it imply
Kenjaku
that
could arm the U.S. Special Forces with curse technique
he could?
or with curses.
Well, the whole point of that is that he doesn't really want them to have curse technique. He doesn't want like people who don't have it to have it. He wants to get rid of them. What he's using the U.S. government for is, I guess, to like as vessels for cursed spirits, I guess, because he does want to unleash cursed spirits onto regular folks and see what happens. Something about merging with them and creating this big giant monster. I don't know what he wants because I don't think Kenjaku knows what he wants really. Kenjaku's just like,
He
I just
wants a
want to try
lot.
shit. I just want to see what happens. What if I do this and I merge them together?
But yeah, those are all my thoughts. Just a lot of questions, but I still enjoyed the chapter a lot.
Oh yeah. I also very much enjoyed the chapter, obviously. My second place by a small margin. Yeah, I imagine Yuki Tsukumo's dead. I imagine Tengen's also dead because I think we're hurtling towards the end game of Jujutsu Kaisen actually. As more and more interviews come out, or Gege Akutami is like, maybe it'll wrap up within 1 year. So Jujutsu Kaisen is probably gonna end within a year or two. I would probably like, if we're gonna I would give him some slack and some leeway because manga, there's breaks and stuff, and you never know what happens. So he does aim to finish.
Maybe
this.
he means a year collectively, like in 364 chapters.
Yeah, I mean that's also a possibility, but yeah, I feel like he's moving into his end game a little slowly. Maybe the culling game, this whole culling game is supposed to be like the second to last arc. But yeah, it all makes sense with the pacing of this. I loved just the fucking the thing about Choso is that I also am confused, and maybe this is something because I'm in the middle of a read through of Jujutsu Kaisen myself that I'll get refamiliarized with, because Choso's sudden affinity for Itadori was, I remember that coming out of left field a little bit, and I'd like to see if that was actually true or if I just missed something in my initial read through of the series, because like it was like they were enemies, and then all of a sudden he was like my brother. It's a weird thing, and I think it does have to do with they're both technically children of Kenjaku, so
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it make sense. But I don't know. I think like I've forgotten the context of Choso's like arc, so I don't want to really like comment on it without knowing for sure. But yeah, Tsukumo's sacrifice was pretty dope. Pretty brutal the way she went out, being split in half and then converting herself into a black hole.
Yeah. She ain't go out like no bitch. That's
No.
for sure.
Definitely not. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Very interesting chapter. I can't wait to see what this leads towards in 2 weeks, because there's no jump next week. But yeah, you guys have any rebuttals? Anything? Any last words on the chapter?
No.
Alrighty.
No, I wish my cat would stop clawing at the door.
My cat's over here eating. Anyway,
Jesus.
all right, let's move on then. Hunter. This is Hunter x Hunter chapter 400.
Oh wow. I didn't realize that actually.
Secrecy is the name of the chapter. Last we left off, because this is another chapter that we missed last week because we were off. The Nobunaga and the Haley guy Henrik actually found the Haley headquarters and had a little bit of a scuffle with the Haley people, and got a feel for their not curse techniques, their Nen abilities.
They're Hatsu.
Yeah. There's a guy who has the ability to like transfer attacks to another place, I guess. Like if you throw a knife at him, he can make the blade come out of a soda can. There's another guy who creates toy soldiers out of Nen. So, they got a gauge for some of them, and they were able to escape.
Well, they were actually forced out.
Oh yeah, they were forced out by the toy soldier guy. So they decided to split off and look into other leads. This chapter starts off with Finks and Phaeton looking at the transmitter to find out exactly where on the ship the Haley headquarters is. They said they're in the middle of this like big I guess shopping complex, and they said that it's like 100 to 200 meters away, but they can't be because they're in a big open space. So they figure they're either above or below them. After a lot of dialogue and reuniting with Nobunaga, they realize that they are in tier 2, actually, that they have the highest chance of being in tier 2, which makes sense because the boss of the Haley Haley, right? They're high class, so makes sense for them to be in the second tier. So they start kind of like talking about their strategy. Phaeton is like, we should go straight to the Cha'ar headquarters, and Nobunaga insists that they probably take Franklin with them because they don't know how many people there are, and it'd be best not to be ambushed or taken by surprise.
Actually nervous. That he's acknowledging that there might be a situation that could be a little too much.
Yeah, they're developing their abilities, and it might help to have Franklin with us. Yeah. So at that point, we then cut back to the princes for the first time since the hiatus came back, right? We haven't spent much time with them. We start off with the what's her face? This is a prince I don't really super remember. I know he has like she has a specific name. That shit.
Fuck. I just fucking.
I just read it too.
Yeah, shit. I'll look into it. You talk about the cult one?
Yeah. Is this a boy? They said, because he says him.
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
Who's talking about? Tyson?
Tyson.
Tyson.
There
Oh,
you
the prince?
go. Thank you. Yeah,
That's
Prince
what it
Tyson.
was.
Yeah, it's a girl. They explain that they referred to them all as princes,
Yeah.
but some are female, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, she has these guys there that like her bodyguards. She has them acting out characters that they like, I think. So yeah, there's that. There's Kurapika's teacher, who I forget his name right now, but he's the guy who's watching after Tyson, and is trying to figure out a way to use Tyson's ability to get the king to call off the succession battle. So
Izunavi is his name.
Izunavi, yeah. And he basically asks her, is like, hey, were you able to distribute the book that you use? Basically, I guess her book. I don't know what her book does specifically. I don't know if you guys remember it all, but
It's like her cult thing. It's like people who read it get converted to her cause.
Okay. So basically, his bet is that like he could get the king to read it, and thus get the king to cancel the succession battle. And through a little bit of dialogue, they explained that like she tried to get him the book, but who knows if it actually got to her. We then cut over to 1010, the room 1010, where like Kacho and Fugetsu, I guess, like their joint place. With Fugetsu and Kacho was recently killed off because I think if you try to leave the boat and you're a prince, you just like die or something. And she learned the hard way. But she was resurrected in the form of like this Nen spirit thing. So
yeah, I think it's the Nen Beast. Like what was it exactly? I think it was a Nen Beast, right? It was the product of a Nen Beast.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
it was Kacho's.
Oh yeah.
The one
She's
who
a Nen
died.
Beast.
The one who died,
Kacho,
her
yeah.
Nen Beast
If
resurrected.
either
as
one
her.
of them died, the other one would become
Yeah.
the Nen Beast. That's
One
what
or
it
the
was.
other, yeah. That was, I think it was Kacho's ability. It was part of her ability or something like that, because she could also like affect the doors. It was something like that. Like the first prince, or not the first prince. The one with the darker hair, she could open the doors, and I think
Fugetsu.
the one that passed away, yeah, Fugetsu's the one that could open the doors, and I think Kacho can determine where they lead to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now Fugetsu
something
can
like
go
that.
through, can open a door and go through it.
Yeah.
All on her own, yeah.
And anyway, in any case, they're talking about this whole thing with Melody there in the room and this guy from the Justice Bureau. And yeah, basically they're trying to find a way to use this advantage because everybody thinks that Kacho is dead at this point. So, and she's obviously technically not. So they're trying to figure out a way to use that to their advantage. And they mentioned that Melody has been called to talk to the princes, for one thing, to play her song, which is her Nen ability, but also to kind of interrogate her because they know that this Nen ability was used in conjunction with the attempted assassination on a prince, I believe. So yeah, they're just like, well, we want you to go in there and we want you to play your song, and while they're blacked out from the playing of the song, we'll come in and assassinate them. We'll drop poison into their mouths while they're blacked out. And if it doesn't work, then they'll die. But if it works, some princes get knocked off. So at this point, Melody herself is just like, is this like a trap? Because he just says like, Melody, I'm in love with you. And he just says this all with too straight of a face for her to be like, yeah, okay, buddy. Is this a trap? Is he trying to manipulate me? What the fuck is going on here? So yeah, Kacho goes off to, I guess, to meet up with Fugetsu and let her know of the information that they learned, sans her being dead. And they go through the the Justice Bureau guy goes to the VIP witness protection area, and he talks to Mr. Steiner and asks him that if one of the princes come through here to press this button, or the prince's men or the royal army comes through here, press the button, and yeah, it's a whole lot of jargon. I didn't really understand all this stuff, to be honest. It's a lot of stuff going on. Kacho meets up back at Fugetsu's room, and she finds a door in her bed. And that's where we learn, as Brian mentioned earlier, that Fugetsu now has the ability to open doors and decide where they go and return through them. But all this use of her ability seems to have like tired her out. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. It's not looking good for Fugetsu. And what's her face? Kacho is trying to warn her of like, hey, maybe you should take it easy. This doesn't look good. You don't look good right now. And Fugetsu just grabs her arms and is like, I know that you've been protecting me. Now it's my turn. So, after a certain point, Kacho convinces Fugetsu to just get a little bit of rest. And Fugetsu does so. She basically passes out. So, yeah, after all this, as Melody is walking down the hallway at some point, she passes through by Fugetsu, and she's just being like stalked by these fucking spirits. It's real creepy. And Melody's like, Fugetsu's aura is so weak, and she's mentally unstable, and evil spirits are being attracted to her. This isn't good. So, her life is obviously in danger from the constant use of her Nen ability. Melody arrives at the interrogation spot. The third prince is there, and he asks her one thing. He's like, I have two requests. I'd like to hear your song again, and I'd like you to take this as a token of, as proof of my respect, which is one of the coins that he manufactures using his Nen Beast. I forget what they do. I don't know if their effect has really been revealed yet.
It hasn't been revealed yet.
Cool.
No.
Okay, so at the same time, I believe she's also interviewed by Vantine, who is a representative for Serendich, if that's how you pronounce his fucking name. And he says
Saradnik.
It's
Saradnik.
Saradnik. And he tells her that like His Highness would like to invite you to his headquarters. Would you accept? And he's like, it's not my call, really. I'm protecting some other people, so I can't really just bounce. So she's like, I think we can negotiate here. And the guy is like, she senses doubt and confusion from the guy. So she's like, the fourth prince isn't behind this either. So 3 more to go. And then we cut back to them at the Melody with the Justice Bureau guy. He's like, even if you play at the banquet, you don't think we should follow through with our plan? And she's like, no, we don't know. We shouldn't fucking do anything until we know who's behind Prince Fugetsu's changes. So we have to find out what's going on with her before we do anything. So she's like, I think she tells the guy to go see Kurapika and tell him everything because he's the only trustworthy person there. So, Melody's just trying to like figure out who the fuck did it. And meanwhile, we cut back over to room 1014 where Kurapika is. And
Kurapika is drowning in an endless sea.
And he says that I don't need divination. Will you agree to our contract? And Kurapika agrees yes, and that he will cooperate with Prince Tubepa, which I believe is the 5th prince.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scientist prince.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
5th prince. And that's where the huh?
It's actually a female too.
Yeah. And that's where the chapter ends for a long time, as Hunter x Hunter is back on hiatus, baby.
Say our prayers to
I have a lot to
God.
say about Hunter x Hunter, so can I go first?
Yeah, go for it, Brian.
All right. So
Can we not have a moment of silence?
at the end, I want to celebrate the series first before I I leave it one last time for however long it's gone.
All right.
So
Damn,
how
Brian.
do I start? All right, so the last few chapters uncovered a lot. First things first. We kind of get a glimpse as to what Nobunaga's Hatsu might entail with his whole sword extension thing that he did. But he seems pretty confident without his sword, which is also very interesting. And when it comes to the Haley hideout, boy, do I have a theory for you guys. I haven't seen most people. Well, maybe somebody has talked about it already, and I just haven't noticed, or I haven't seen it anywhere. But
It's all you, Brian.
I have a theory that the Haley hideout is actually inside of Morena in a Nove style Hatsu, where she allows her followers to enter her domain, essentially. And the trap doors are what allows them to enter Morena's space. My theory is because a lot of what the hideout entails is that Morena has to be close. And it's also entailing that the space is made of Nen, or at least reinforced with Nen. So my theory for why the base is made with Morena's Hatsu is, one, when Nobunaga's like, all right, this Nen is actually really fucking strong. She has to be nearby. And there was this very ominous look at Morena. We saw a very ominous panel of Morena kind of
Just
being a little
showed her.
creepy.
Yeah.
The second is actually what's his name again? The police officer guy.
Police officer guy.
Let me see.
The toy soldier guy.
Hold on, I got it over here. Yokutani. So Yokutani's Hatsu, which is the LSRF or some shit like that. So he has like a series of restrictions on his Nen, and one of them is that Morena has to be nearby in order for him to activate it. So that's already two situations where Morena has to be nearby in order for it to work. Now, how do they guarantee that Morena is always nearby? The base is Morena. That's I feel like would be a perfect loophole, because they made it a point to take them out from the trapdoor as well, so that they, like, obviously, you know, they could have just taken it out so they can't know where the base is, but the base moves. They've talked about it. The base fucking moves. So the base being on the move could entail that it's a person carrying it, essentially. Maybe not Morena, but maybe it is Morena, which would make sense. So I feel like I caught on to him.
She could grant abilities and create this Hatsu. What is Hatsu again?
Hatsu is it's Nen abilities. It's the in series way of saying Nen abilities, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So Bungee Gum is a Hatsu. Like,
right.
So that would mean that Morena is a emitter, essentially, because, you know, she's granting
conjurer?
people powers. No, emitter. Nove is an emitter. So his whole castle thing, that's emission. So that means if she's gonna make a base like that, it would probably have to be emission.
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to dispute it, so I'll take your word for it.
All right, on to my next point. When it comes to the Tababe, Oh, actually, no. I'll get onto Tababe. So Tababe is the scientist prince
Mm-hmm.
who is actually working with Saradnik. So that brings probably, I'm not sure if it's unintentional or not, but this just brought Kurapika closer to an encounter with Saradnik. Probably, and it probably isn't going to end well if Saradnik has gotten marginally better at Nen, considering what we've seen him do already.
Bro, he's got 2 men beasts already.
Yeah,
He's got the one that was given to him, and he's got one he just conjured up from being an asshole. No, I'm dead ass.
I
That
know.
was even a joke.
Yeah.
Like it's
No, that's how he
just,
conjured it up for
that's
sure.
what the lady said, right? He's like just out of pure
pure
nastiness.
spite and anger.
But yeah, like it just appeared, and it looked so creepy.
Yeah.
So I just wonder what Kurapika stands to gain from partnering with Tabape, unless he actually did know somehow that Tabape is partnered with Saradnik. So I just wonder, like, what do you guys have any ideas of what she could bring to the table to Kurapika and Prince Wobble or whatever the fucking baby's name is?
Yeah.
Science.
I guess science.
Science,
Research.
but I feel like Kurapika knows more about Nen than anybody in that.
But does
on
he
that
know
floor.
about does he know about earth science,
You're right. My bad.
chemistry?
That's true. But they're
My
at sea
bad.
though.
You know what I'm
They're at
saying?
sea
Living
though. What
environment.
will earth science do you?
No, he doesn't. I don't think Kurapika does. I think all he cares about is the eyes.
Yeah.
Everything else is secondary.
Yeah. I don't really know if he has like
Even
any
education.
knowledge. He doesn't have it. I don't know if he has any knowledge that Saradnik is working with Tubepa. But I mean, on a base level, it's protection for his prince, like an ally who's a baby and can't protect herself at all. So there's that. I don't know. I feel like this is something that Kurapika has probably thought of before, and maybe before the hiatus stuff is just something that slipped our minds because there's a lot of fucking information to remember for this arc. So yeah, I'm not entirely
I'll do some
sure.
research.
But
After, like, maybe next week I'll have like an update.
yeah. Were those all your thoughts? Do you have any other thoughts on the show?
Let's see. So the sudden interest in Melody, I feel like that's pretty interesting. It seems like Melody's whole performance kind of put her on the map in front of all the princes, and now they probably want her on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the nature of it. So she has a lot of potential to kind of turn shit around for people, kind of lull people into her own, onto other people's side, and kind of act as kind of a bargaining chip, I think. So her ability is actually a lot more powerful in this arc than I originally thought.
Yeah, I would think that because they mentioned that they wanted to try her, for being involved in this assassination attempt or whatever. So I think they're just trying to get a needle onto like tying her together with what happened. So that's another possibility. I don't know if they really want her on their side so much as they're trying to catch her and prove her guilt or her corroboration with something. But
okay, I see. That makes sense.
yeah.
But I guess those are all my thoughts for now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have plenty more later.
Nice.
Because I love this series so much.
Josh,
and I'm sad that it's gone.
Josh, what did you think?
Well, aside from the immense sadness and disappointment that I found on the last page, this was a dense chapter. And I mean, Hunter x Hunter is generally dense, but it was, I guess, all the plot points that was touched on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any big theories, to be honest. I mean, the whole Char Heavy stuff is interesting with the Night Troop, but keeping it a stack, I'm much more interested in the Secession battle. So it was cool that they brought it back. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I don't know if she's being attacked by another prince. She being not Kacho, the sister.
Fugetsu.
Yeah, Fugetsu. I don't know if she's being attacked or this is just her own aura, like attracting this shit.
I think it's her.
But she just seems really
aura.
interested. Huh?
I think it's her own aura.
Right. I don't think she's being attacked. It's just weird. I mean, there are she got like that. She doesn't know her sister's dead. Or maybe she did find that out. Maybe she knows.
So there's two things. So there were a bunch of Nen creatures in this area before that weren't Nen beasts. Yeah, it was revealed earlier. But these could be Nen beasts that are being targeted, that she's being targeted by. So those are two options. These can't be Nen beasts that are given to you by the Succession Board, though. So these are targeted. These are created by somebody, probably, most likely. So that's partially what Melody's trying to figure out, is who the fuck is going after Sugetsu right now.
All right. Well, any other thoughts, Josh?
Nah, man, I don't want to fucking talk anymore about this. I'm really sad. I hope it's not another few years. Hopefully just a couple months or something like that.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed this chapter, even though it was like really dense, and sometimes it's tough for me to remember details for Hunter x Hunter just because there's so many characters and so many chapters, so much dialogue that, full of information and exposition that you have to remember. But I enjoy it all the way. On the hiatus, from what I understand, is they realized that he just can't do this shit weekly. So I looked into the details of the hiatus, and although it is like kind of indefinite, we don't know when he's coming back. The idea is that when he comes back, it probably won't be weekly. So honestly, I'm okay with that. I'd be down if Hunter x Hunter was just monthly. It's fine. It doesn't have to happen. Maybe he could do more pages or the same amount of pages. Ashihara
more pages.
I don't know.
Imagine this series with more pages.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what it needed.
It's already dense enough.
No, yeah. I mean, you could Ashihara him, give him the same amount of same amount of pages, but just like once a month. I'm okay with that.
Speaking of, where the fuck is World Trigger?
It comes back. It was off last month. It'll be back, hopefully. Knock on wood somewhere. It'll be back next week, hopefully. That's crossed fingers. So, yeah, I mean, do the Ashihara method. If someone can't do it long term and they still want to do it, let them do it monthly.
And as long as we're getting it.
Yeah, it's also like Togashi's not rushing through this story at all. Like, he is really taking his sweet fucking time.
He is taking his time, and I love that.
I'm fine with it too, obviously, but it's also like there is something commendable about him being like, I'm telling my story.
What is it? Is it his spine also?
It's his spine, yeah. I think it's his spine that's really fucked up.
Jesus, man. How's your spine, Chris?
My spine's okay.
Wait, what?
My spine's okay.
Is something wrong with your spine? Have I not known that there's something wrong with your spine?
I think I'm fine. I think Josh is just checking in on my spine.
How's your spine, Josh?
Hey, we should do
spine check.
Yeah, we should do a monthly spinal check. So
monthly spinal check.
Everybody's spine in check.
Is everybody's spine good?
Quick. Sorry to interrupt the podcast real quick, guys, but just want to make sure everybody's spine doing all right?
Is your shit aligned?
We have to do.
Do you have scoliosis?
Your chair got lumbar support?
Yeah, this podcast is on hold for a quick spinal check.
Just a quick spinal check.
Are you guys really friends if you don't check on your friends' spines? Always check on your friends' spines. All right. Well, I don't have many thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. It is very sad, and I hope it comes back soon. And Togashi, of course, is in good health while doing it. Honestly, like it's always the goated ones that deal with the most stress with their health and stuff. And I wish nothing but help for Togashi. Already a Hall of Famer in terms of manga. So
all right, real quick. Kuga versus Kurapika. Who you got in the fight?
Yuma Kuga versus Kurapika?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's an incompatible thing. Their power systems are incredibly different.
I guess.
And Kurapika put the Phantom Troop ability on him?
No, not the chain one. That's too easy.
Yeah.
All right, so I think
Yuma. I'll take Yuma.
I think Kurapika just loses without that.
I think Kuga would probably just dice him up. I mean,
Yes.
Kurapika could fight though too. He's not.
But the thing about Kuga,
I just can't compete.
Yeah, but
and
they're
he would have to be able to break his Tryon body too.
They're like legitimately
he could use the chain, but it would only affect the Tryon body. He would have to do it twice.
Yeah, the thing about Yuma is that like somebody in World Trigger is like he just finds the most efficient way to kill you. And just does it.
He figures it out if you can't take him out in time.
All of Yuma's most like deadliest kills were just like that. He just comes out of nowhere and he just takes you out.
I think Kuga versus Killua would be a better matchup.
Yeah.
Anyway. Killua's kind of lame. Sorry, fans. Sorry, fans of Killua, but he's kind of whack.
What do you mean? He's fucking awesome.
He used to be that nigga. Now it's all
Stop the
about
slander.
yo.
Stop the Killua slander.
Killua's cool.
He's cooler than Gon, that's for sure.
He's what?
He's cooler than Gon.
A dude whose ability was a floating hand.
Killua?
Yeah, remember he lost.
Are we thinking of the same guy?
Yeah, he lost the shoot. Remember shooting Knuckle?
Oh, he lost to the hand guy.
Yeah, he lost to the fucking hand guy.
Whatever, man. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say about Hunter x Hunter.
Me neither.
Let's move onward. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 346, 5 Zetten. Last we left off, I believe this is another series that was just off last week. Because last we left off, we were the 5 of these Zetten, or 5 of the Ryuzen 7 were confronting the paladins that recently arrived at the Land of Sun, along with the giant 5-headed dragon that they have resurrected. One of them, I guess the Kenpachi of the group, this berserker lady, just came out of nowhere and attacked the sister. The battle continues onward as they sick the giant 5-headed dragon at them, and we then cut over to a flashback to the point where the Shogun basically tells them all about the paladins and their abilities and all that stuff, and tells them that like they're gonna release the 5-headed dragon, and they should be here in the morning, and they should be like, well, we should take care of them right now. But the Shogun's like, nah, we'll save the people first. If we fight them right now, then there's gonna be casualties for sure. So we should evacuate the nearest town, and then we should do our thing then. So yeah, they're like, well, they're gonna, one of the I think the lightning girls, like, they're gonna have the 5-headed dragon, but that's a legendary monster that pretty much destroyed the Land of Sun, right? And he's like, yeah, it's the biggest, baddest enemy ever, but I believe in you. If anyone can take them down, it's you guys. And that invigorates the squad. They all take on a head of the 5-headed dragon. The crazy lady one has Snow Jojutsu, who turns herself into a silver fox. It's pretty cool. The big strong guy is, of course, an Earth Jojutsu user. He does a big giant Buddha statue, punches this fucking dragon straight in the mouth. Also pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
Yes, sir.
The guy with the ninja mask is a wind Yojutsu user. He cuts up one of the dragon's heads pretty fast, pretty dope. And of course, we know the lightning Yojutsu user comes in and
Right.
does lightning at it, destroys her thing, and now obviously Ichika with her dark Yojutsu just beheads the fucking dragon all cash.
Jeez.
Just like
Were these dragons supposed to be an obstacle or something?
they were supposed to be an obstacle.
I don't know about that. They were essentially henchmen.
Yeah, I mean
These
that
were
is
these were,
indeed.
they were Goombas.
They were Goombas, basically. But yeah, the chapter ends with the paladin sister being like, "Oh, these are the strongest people. That's incredible." And Ichika,
Not stronger than us, but wow.
wow. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to probably get serious.
Maybe.
Maybe if we feel like it. This is the end of the chapter as Ichika is like, Lord Ryuya believes in us, so the Ryus and Seven will never yield. You will yield, I bet. At some point, these guys are gonna make you yield. But that's the end of the chapter. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Yeah, I like this chapter a lot. It's quick and to the point.
Mhm.
Without it being 11 pages. Shots. Anyway,
Wow.
man, the way they all pulled out their
Wow.
the way they all pulled their powers out like Power Rangers to smoke these culturally significant dragons. I mean, it was important.
Mhm.
They played a crucial role in the history of that country,
This is true.
and they tried to stir up fear and past trauma. And these niggas said, "Nah,
We're not scared of you.
let's show you how busy we really get."
Take this Buddha
And
statue fist.
it's only right. I mean, that was really the coolest one. And honestly, that was the most impressive one.
Yeah.
He turned into a big boo. Sengoku wishes, right?
Mm.
You heard me. Sengoku wishes.
Sengoku wishes.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and also say the Jesus man, Hunter Association, Gramps himself wishes
Netero.
he had a giant. Yes, Netero. He wishes he had an Earth Yojutsu giant King of Wisdom
Yeah.
instead of
Hey,
theoretical
fuck.
palms.
I wish I had one. Theoretical palms.
That would have beat Meruem.
Yeah, this giant statue.
Brian confirmed it with me before the podcast.
Yeah,
He
I
did the
heard
math.
that. I heard him say that.
No, he told you. That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, sarcasm aside, it's just I'm excited about these guys, but I also know that
You already know.
this guy that hasn't talked yet, out of the three, there's one that hasn't said a word, and he's gonna be the one to do it to them.
Yeah.
He's gonna get irritated about something. He's gonna have some type of personality that Asta's gonna hate. Just don't forget, guys. This is Asta's fight.
Yeah.
They're only holding it down until he learns his new special move.
No,
Quite literally.
Hey, Shonen's Shonen. Shonen's gonna Shonen.
Yeah. At least they all look cool before they get smoked. Brian, how'd you feel about this chapter? I like this chapter a lot. This was actually this wasn't my second runner-up, but I liked it a lot.
I thought I didn't think much of this chapter because this is just build up for Asta to show up. This is the oh, look at how cool they are before they get fucked up and Asta shows up to save the day.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
This wind guy looks so menacing,
I do like the wind guy.
right? But
Said,
it's not
he
enough.
Said, ugh.
It's not enough, though. Yeah, it is really cool. I'd like to think that he can definitely kill one of the paladins, but I also know that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
Call me jaded.
Hey, I'm jaded too. Prove
But
us
those are all
wrong.
those are all my thoughts. Honestly, I don't have much to say because this is just a very there's a very uniform Black Clover chapter. Asta's training, people are fighting, people are eventually going to get their ass beat, and then Asta's going to show up and be like, "I'm the Wizard King because I protect people." And then they're going to be like, "Oh shit, yo, he really means business."
Oh, he's been training this whole time.
Okay, guys. Are these two people the same character? The Lightning Girl and the Ice Fox Girl. Are they the same person?
No, because the Lightning Girl is like a fun, bubbly type, but she's just more of a crazy berserker lady.
Oh, there is a distinction. There is a lot of crossover
Is
with
it crossover?
with those archetypes. There is a lot of crossover with that archetype. All jokes aside, but it is distinctive enough. So I do appreciate that, Chris.
Hey, I know archetypes.
It's crazy because for the faithful listeners, they still have no fucking clue when I'm being serious or not. I know they have to wait.
I mean, sometimes I don't know.
I'm being dead ass.
Sometimes I have to take a second. I have to double take because like, is he serious? Well, I really like this chapter too. This was the other series tied for the really good chapter of the week with Jujutsu Kaisen. We didn't get a whole lot, but that was my fault. I did put this poll up 6 hours ago, so I'll take responsibility. My bad. But we got a tie this week with Jujutsu Kaisen and Black Clover for a really good chapter of the week. And look, we joke about how we see what's coming. I'm just here for the ride. I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm here for the ride too. That's why.
As a part in my life where I would have been like, here we go. You know, like I would have been more upset about it. But you know, I've come to a real zen place with Black Clover, and I'm accepting it for what it is. And I'm just here to see the cool character designs and cool powers, and wait for Asta to come by. I don't really have other things to say. The Earth guy is so cool, but I like Earth as like if you have an elemental ability. Earth powers are always really cool.
That's cool. I like Earth a lot too, but I guess I'd have to stick to water.
Yeah, Earth and air.
Water or air.
Either or.
My actual element, I guess, based on my horoscope, sign is air. I'm an air sign.
Yeah, I'm a water sign.
What are you? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
What about you, Brian? Your birthday again in the fall. You're a Virgo?
Virgo, yeah. So it's Earth.
That's an Earth. Yeah. Oh wow, we're all different elements. There's no fire.
No fire. Right? There's only 3 of us. Anyway,
Leo is a fire one, right?
I think Leo is fire, right?
Fuego Leon.
Fuego Leon.
Oh, he's Spanish now.
Yeah, it's Fuego Leon is fire lion. If you really want it.
Mero Leon.
I don't know what that means.
That's pretty lit.
Fuego Leon. Mario Leona. Anyway.
I deserve.
Mario Leona? Isn't that something
No,
to do with...
Mero means I deserve.
I thought it was Mario. Mario Leona.
Yeah, Mario.
All right.
Nausea?
Are they really a Spanish fire family? Is that what?
I don't think so, but
maybe like
Fuego Leon sounds pretty.
Maybe
Spanish.
it's Italian.
Yeah, maybe it's Italian. It could be Italian for all we know.
What is Mero Leona? Definitely
the Spanish fire family.
Fuck. All right, it's a made-up name.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think that's it. I don't really have much else to say. I really like this chapter. I'm excited for the next one in 2 weeks. God damn it. Every time I remind myself there's no jump next week, I'm bummed out. But
we will have monthlies, though.
We do have monthlies. We'll get into next week. And Chainsaw Man next week.
And questions.
We'll have time for questions. We'll do that. But without further ado, I suppose we should move on then. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 141, Face to Face. Alternate title. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very
So-
nice.
So last we left off, Gina.
Get fucked, Autumn. That's a spoiler. Okay.
I mean, whatever. Last we left off, Gina awakened her unchange abilities and is now using them on Autumn. And she basically one-shots Autumn with her unchange, using her unchanged sword, basically creating a giant sword out of the frozen in space and time part of water raindrops that she's using with her negation to stop from changing. And she just makes a giant fucking sword that splits the heavens and down through the earth. Strong as hell, broken fucking power.
She made Autumn say what?
Huh?
Huh?
Okay. I guess this is my life. And Autumn.
This can't be.
Yeah, this can't be dead. So yeah, she's the fucking Autumn's dead. Mission is accomplished. Fuko and Gina reunite as Fuko's book disintegrates. And she's like, "You did it." So you know it all worked out. And Fuko starts crying at this prospect. She's like, "Oh, thank you, Miss Gina." And she's like, "I don't like that. That was the past me, and this is the current me, right? So I'd rather you just call me Gina." Cute moment. So, you know, as they walk back into the headquarters, you know, Gina is now sporting her like look of the future, I guess, where she's more relaxed and not in super preppy schoolgirl mode. We return to Ichiko and Nico.
Ichigo.
Oh, now I understand their name is Ichiko, Nico. Ichi is 1, Ni is 2. Ichiko, Nico. 1, 2.
San. What's the daughter's name? San something?
I don't think that's her name. Maybe it could be Sanko. If it's Sanko, then I'm like, wow, I'm late.
Mizu.
I think it's Miko. Now that I remember. Okay.
Brian, could you look up Nico's daughter's name from Undead Unluck?
How do you spell Nico?
Nico.
Nico.
Anyway, Ichiko and Nico are yelling at each other. You know, Nico is trying to get her to get some sleep, and obviously Ichiko is unsleep.
Miko.
So I knew it. Ichiko is unsleep, so she can't sleep. So Fuko tries something different. She's like, she takes the Soul Caliber artifact and just extracts the soul from Ichiko's body, and it just like leaves it out there, and is basically like, well, I used this to extract her soul, and seeing as how negation abilities are attached to the soul, removing the soul would also remove the unsleep and would allow the body to sleep while she could just hang around here. So yeah, Ichigo's like, Nico's like, oh my god, thank you, thank goodness, Ichiko. And Ichiko as a soul is watching all this. Nico can't see Ichiko, who's, you know, he can't see her as a soul. And Fuko mentions it that hey Nico, Ichiko's watching, his soul is watching you. And then at that moment she's just like, Nico just like throws her to the side. He's like, drop dinner, you worthless jerk. It was a funny little moment. So yeah, the big scientist dude comes through and he's like, I know it hasn't been long since the autumn battle, but it's time to move and capture Unavoidable's negator, Mr. Void. So he's like, how are we gonna do that? I mean, the guy's a world boxing champ, isn't he? How are we gonna find him and make him join us? So Fuko's like, I have an idea. And everybody's like, are you sure? Is it gonna be an unreasonable idea? And Gina's like, it'll be A-okay, Uncle Nico. The fight with Autumn went well, didn't it? And Fuko comes up with the best plans, so I believe in her. And then we cut over to the boxing promotion in Las Vegas as Void is like talking about how his opponent ran away. And he's like, I'm just glad I didn't have to knock his block off. But then somebody passes through his security, and it's Fuko. Fuko pulls up and is like, Void Volks, your belt is as good as mine, and basically challenges Void to a boxing match.
But she could fight.
Hajime no Fuko.
Yo, she about to fuck this nigga up, something crazy.
Yeah. That's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Was I impressed by the easy mode GG stunned you move Gina put on Autumn. He died instantly, and it took them so many chapters.
Yeah, the last time they fought.
She's the real deal, and honestly, the fact that she lost so early in the series was a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
I think they got lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Something about Airhole. Yeah, that shit was crazy. He ended up killing her. Andy had to kill her.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, they killed her.
This
and
is
Void.
really nice. Yeah. I was just thinking how like this is so cool for Fuko. Like when they had that moment about her feeling sorry with Fuko feeling sorry for Andy, like after that happened and she was holding her uniform up. That was, I actually do remember that from a really long time ago. And, every time someone passed away and she had this overly dramatic reaction, I'm not going to say it was annoying, but it feels like, wow, it's really getting paid off now because she's actually able to make changes now that she has another chance. This is almost surreal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way she's trying to play the game but play this game, and make all the right moves off the knowledge she has. It's just like one of these too good to be true things, and I don't want it to not be true. I love this. I know they're gonna eventually hit a really, there has to be some more conflict eventually.
Yeah. It can't be this easy.
It's been pretty easy. I just been enjoying it though. I'm not mad about how it's been happening or executed.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I like the character interactions and how it's like a different spin.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate this series. I'm really glad that we read it. I'm really glad the audience wanted us to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looked so cringe at first.
Yeah.
I would never, ever have read it. Never. I would have looked at that shit like I look at Blue Ocean or whatever the fuck else be up there. Like
Blue Ocean.
This another something with blue in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I also love this chapter a lot. One thing I will comment, because we talked about Fuko's development a lot, but I guess
Frijoles.
Frijoles. Did you say frijoles? Why? Josh,
Well, I like free fried beans and I like Undead Unluck.
fair. No, I think one of the cool features of this like reboot thing they did here was allowing us to kind of spend time with characters in that we haven't in the first time around, with Void and Gina and Nico, where they're much more prominent characters this time around than they were in the previous loop. It took us a long time to get Nico's backstory the first time, so I feel like they're doing it in reverse, where we're getting the characters that we're less familiar with, and spending time with them to round out the cast in a more real way.
Right.
I think it's a really smart thing, and it's pretty cool. It's just another cool opportunity, because they could have just like linked her up with Andy right away again, but they didn't. They're taking like the scenic route and really just exploring characters that we didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with up to this point. So I'm excited to see where it goes with Void. He's the character we spent almost no time with, because he died pretty immediately after being introduced.
Yeah, very early.
So I'm very into it. So, but that's all I got to say really about Undead Unluck. A solid chapter overall. Oh, I do love the little moment with Ichiko and Nico and Fuko using the soul caliber to extract the soul and allow her to sleep.
Yeah.
I thought that whole moment was very sweet. And I'm into it. But with that,
I thought you said "ho" moment for a second there.
Damn, Brian. I would never. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Are you ready to close this out, Josh?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to close this out. Are you ready, Brian?
User.
All right, that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, Josh at @JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. Watch his streaming sometimes. I don't know when he streams, but he should.
Neither do I.
He should let people know. But I guess you're supposed to follow him on twitch.tv/itspunchline.
LOL. That's what he's streaming.
Yeah. So do that. Follow the show at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Next week we'll try to do a couple of the questions. Just because we'll have time. Next week we'll probably have like 4 series.
Oh, also, Brian elected to give us the extensive background of his WoW playing days.
His what?
My what?
His WoW playing days.
I never played WoW.
You know what it is, so you definitely.
I know what it is, but I've never played it.
Nah, you know, bro. You know, you a LOL and WoW player.
I know what it is. I've just never played it.
And you stream that, and you need to stop.
I don't
playing.
stream it. I stream League, maybe. Actually, I've
stream
never
WoW.
streamed League. Wow. You wish.
Anyway, do that. Yeah, questions next week. Let's hear them. Subscribe to the podcast, please. Like and share, engage with the show, please, because we took a week off, and I feel like the algorithm hates us now. So please engage with the show if you like the show. If you want to see us grow, that would be super fucking cool. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're pretty much everywhere. The audio version of the podcast usually goes up first because it is the easiest to edit. I can get it out pretty quickly. The poll, it goes up usually on Sundays, a couple hours after the Jump chapters are officially released on Viz, depending on how forgetful I am on the day. I always try to get it out way earlier than I did this week, but hey, things happen. But yeah, I believe this was the last show of the year for 2022. Fun way to close it out. Yeah, next week we'll be back. It's the day after New Year's, so I'm excited for that. Thank you guys so much for listening, and hey, stay safe, New Jump citizens. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all. Peace out.
Happy New Year.